I have some news about your shoulder joint. It's not real. Dr. Nicholas Mercer with uImproved PT. All right, come on. Obviously, the shoulder joint's a real thing. Yeah, it's more of a misnomer. A shoulder joint is not just this, which is what most of us think of as the shoulder joint right here. It's actually the glenohumeral joint. It connects the humerus to the glenoid of the scapula. Now, you have three other joints in what we call the shoulder complex. You've also got sternoclavicular, which is right here. You'll see how that moves on me. That's why I wore a tank top today. You also have your acromioclavicular, which is where the acromion from the scapula attaches to the clavicle here. You also have a joint that's not actually a real joint, which is your scapulothoracic. And that is basically describing how the scapula glides back here along your thoracic spine, kind of your rib cage, essentially. And this misnomer is a real big reason why a lot of people continue to have shoulder pain, even despite their best efforts on trying to move that shoulder and strengthen it, because that shoulder is four joints. It's not just the one that you're trying to work on. And a lot of times, the scapulothoracic joint, the one in the back, the one that's not a real joint, is actually the main problem. The reason for this is, as we go on through life, we're more and more on our phones, reading, studying, working on a computer. And if we don't have the proper setup and mindfulness to maintain this good posture, we are going to continue rounding forward here, right? And you'll see what that does to my scapula. It tips it forward, which means the rest of my shoulder complex is going to come forward. So now when I try to do something where the scapula needs to come up and kind of turn like so, it's not going to go. It's going to stay there. We're going to put all the stress on that glenohumeral joint here. So I'm stuck here. I'm going up, and I can't go anymore. Why is that? That's really weird. Such a weird design for a joint. I agree, but when everything lines up, it works the way it should. Now, how do we get everything to line up? That's the problem. We need to start where the problem is, the scapulothoracic joint. If we lose control of all of the scapular movements, and it has a lot of them, that shoulder joint's not going to work well. And the reason for this is when you go overhead, you know, that thing that you used to be able to do, coming up all the way 180 degrees, you know, only 2/3 of that is coming from this glenohumeral joint. You know where the rest is coming from? This guy right here, that scapulothoracic joint. So as we come up, if that scapula's not moving right, we're going to lock up here. That shoulder's going to stay forward. You're going to have the acromion here, glenohumeral joint here, and as we come up, we're going to hit. That's what we call shoulder impingement. That is a common diagnosis and a common condition that people get surgery for. And a lot of times that surgery is unnecessary. Personally, I've had several patients who were told they needed surgery. They had a surgery scheduled, and we worked on their shoulder. We restored the proper movement and the mindfulness and being able to control the scapulothoracic joint, and bam, no more pain, don't need surgery anymore, canceled the surgery. Now, this isn't true for all cases. There are some people who have so much damage to the rotator cuff from that pinching or bone spurs or something, and they just need that surgery done, and then we can work on the movement. However, it doesn't hurt to try to restore that movement first, and then if restoring the movement doesn't fix the problem, that's when we go to surgery. But you're probably watching this video and you clicked on it because you want to find a solution to your problem. There are no magic bullets. There's no one exercise or technique that's just going to completely fix your problem. But if we can find something that alleviates your pain, that can help guide us to a complete solution that will work for you. And again, mindfulness is key here. You need to be aware of not just this glenohumeral joint, the whole shoulder complex. And the way we become more mindful of the other three joints of the shoulder, since we're so caught up in the glenohumeral joint, is we take the glenohumeral joint out of the equation. That's right, we're going to chop it off. I'm kidding, we're not going to chop off your glenohumeral joint. But we focus on the three other joints that you haven't been paying attention to. And the way we start to become mindful of those three other joints is, oh no, glenohumeral joint's frozen, it's paralyzed, it can no longer move. I need to get as much range of motion out of the rest of these joints as I can, right? And so notice I'm pulling up as high as I can, back as far as I can, down as far as I can, forward, making the biggest circles with this deltoid muscle here as possible. Feeling the scapula gliding along my ribs in both directions, getting it working better, learning how it's supposed to move, and restoring the mind-muscle connection, the mind-joint connection, whatever you want to call it. You're being more mindful of those other joints and opening that shoulder up to the movements that it was designed for. So simply try those shoulder circles. See if it improves a little bit of your range of motion with going overhead or out to the side or with some rotation. See if it helps. If it does, that's a good indication that your problem may not just be in the glenohumeral joint. There may be other joints in the shoulder complex that are affecting it. If you'd like more information on how to end shoulder pain, go to uimprovedpt.com. Also, check us out on all the social medias. All the links to everything will be in the link tree below. And make sure you stay tuned because we are going to be releasing some programs on ending various different types of pain, one of which is shoulder pain. Complete solutions to your problems. This video is not one, but it's one step further to getting you closer to a proper healthy shoulder and allowing you to move more painless.